The Clippers season has been, to be frank, a mess. They unceremoniously sent the best player in franchise history home from a road trip and cut him from the team, while also sitting rock bottom in a tough Western Conference without much hope. But then, something strange happened. An awakening, perhaps. We're talking about a guy who had been playing fine, suddenly reminding us that, years and years ago, he was once arguably the best player in the NBA. And for these past 6 games, we've bore witness to an incredible resurgence of Kawhi Leonard. Just look at these ridiculous numbers. It's the key to the Clippers winning 6 in a row and resurrecting themselves into playoff contention with plenty of time left in the season. Now let's examine how Kawhi is doing it. More of his buckets come from the pick and roll than any other action. I like this play because it starts with the center setting a back screen, which makes his defenders sink back to protect against a potential cutter to the rim. But that also means he's in no position to defend the pick and roll for Kawhi, who just turns the corner and expertly keeps his line to the hoop, not letting his man get in front while the help is worried about the roll. This action is similar to what Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic run in Denver, as Dunn sets the pin down to get Kawhi a couple of steps of freedom before receiving the handoff to his dominant right-hand side. Good switch by the defense allows them to prevent a quick basket, but this simply flows into Kawhi's most comfortable area of the mid-range, where he sidesteps away from the defense for the easy 13-footer. Ty Lue has some Princeton offense built in, as the handoff on the left wing triggers 2 options, either passing to Kawhi, who would then get the ball screen from the center coming up, or if he's denied, then the center flashes underneath for some blind pig action with the cut on the outside. Well defended, and I love how this flows into a high post split. Batum rejects the screen, leaving Kawhi open, and while waiting for the ball screen, realizes his man inexplicably jumped back a few feet, so it's Splash City. But there isn't much need for any fancy offense in the pick and roll for a guy like Kawhi. Just keep setting the screen until he gets an advantage. Also pay close attention to 1. How he lifts both feet in the air and then hops into the shot, the best way to ensure optimal rhythm, and 2. How he dips the ball off the dribble to generate power from distance, a literal cheat code for pull-up shots. The goal on these plays is to force the exact matchups they want. In this case, they want to get Amen Thompson out of the picture and then force a switch to attack Şengün in the middle. The shot fake on the gather is a nice touch before accelerating for the lefty finger roll. Kawhi is not a high flyer anymore, but it's nice to be reminded every now and then that he can still do it. With a double inside ball screen, it confuses the defense. Jabari Smith is icing this to force Leonard away from the screen and towards the baseline, but Şengün is guarding the second ball screen as if Kawhi is coming around into the middle. That means a straight line runaway right to the rim. Credit to Şengün for hustling into position, but Kawhi gets him with a gallop. Şengün straightens up, and that's all he needs to slip by for the two-hander. The next action to look at is in isolation, and it should come as no surprise that a team with both Kawhi Leonard and James Harden would lead the league by far in this category. And it's also where we are treated to the elite mid-range game, where his high release over his head comes in handy. The Clippers find Kawhi for ISOs 2 different ways, after a patterned attack fizzles and the shot clock is wound down, where they're great at clearing out a whole side for him to go to work. Check the dream shake as he jump stops with his back to the basket before turning over the right shoulder for proper alignment and just dropping it down through the hoop. He gives Harden a chance to create something with a drag screen early in the shot clock, and despite an opening, Kawhi is content to hold the ball and let his defender get back into position before using his strong shoulder as a battering ram for a few inches of space to fade from the dotted line and knock it down. But he's also got the superstar ISOs in his bag too, the ones where he dribbles the ball up the court and puts the team on his back. While this game was already over, it was still nice to see the old stop and pop from 15 feet, a shot that is almost non-existent in the modern game. Speaking of which, a big reason why Kawhi is scoring so much is that he's shooting threes way more than ever before, a career-high 7 attempts per game overall, and during this 6-game stretch, he's up that to 10 a game while scorching at 44%. And if he hits like this, you might almost feel like the game is rigged. And you should feel that way, which is why I want you to delete any sportsbook app you might have on your phones right now. They're a complete scam. Okay, did you delete them? Because now I want you to download Polymarket. They're the world's largest prediction market where you can use the knowledge you get from my videos to make informed decisions in real time on any game in any state. Polymarket makes it easy by displaying the odds and percentage, and you just pick a team to win. You don't get locked out like sportsbooks do, which means you can cash out of a position at any time during the game. or get in on the action after the game already started. Remember when the Clippers fell behind by 12 points in the third versus the Blazers? Don't get upset. This is a buy-in moment where you could have ridden their momentum all the way to a victory as the Spurs came back in the second half to take it. Here's how simple it is to make a pick, as I'm thinking the Knicks are going to beat the Sixers for a nice payout. If you win $100 on a sportsbook site, they'll take around $9 in fees. But Polymarket matches you up with someone else in a true market, so they'll only charge you 1 penny on the transaction. Best of all, use my code BBALL and they'll give you $10 free. No credit card, no deposit, nothing. Just make sure to use my code when signing up so you can skip the line and literally get $10 to play with for free. Join the revolution with Polymarket. The Clippers envision their two superstars creating for each other, and we are getting some of that as well. Watch how Kawhi is the first of a double ball screen for Harden that allows him to collapse the defense into the paint, then the expert one-handed hook pass to the open man in the corner. This directly creates the full scramble that found Kawhi all by himself for the open and easy catch and shoot. And with Harden also going off in this game, the defense decides to target him with a double team to simply get it out of his hands. But watch how they cut Sanders immediately out of there so Kawhi gets the entire left side of the floor to work with, calmly hitting another three. Harden always seems to know where Kawhi is. Just check how he glances down court before receiving the outlet pass, knowing Kawhi had leaked out on the contest, and this is a 60-foot pass on the money, and all Leonard has to do is lay it in through contact. Which brings us to his second most efficient category, transition. There are only a handful of players that can go coast to coast and require a second defender to stop, and Kawhi is still doing it after 14 seasons in the NBA, whether it's a swooping dunk or getting into his hezzy game for that midi fadeaway. And we haven't even talked about his defense. It's always been remarkable to me how often he's able to steal the ball when he's in the vicinity, no matter if it's off the dribble, or snatching it out of the air, or deflecting the ball to a teammate. His crazy large hands are just the start, as his positioning and lightning-quick reflexes allow him to continue to create havoc on this end. Also notice how he's able to recover after getting beat to force these steals. That's how you know he's mixing elite athletic ability, wingspan, hand size, and determination, since not everyone could make lemonade after getting beat by a professional offensive player like this. And it's a big reason why the Clippers had the lowest defensive rating in the NBA during this 6-game stretch, and it's not even close. And there are some high-scoring teams in this list they've been able to shut down, in no small part to Kawhi's playmaking on that end. There is no margin for error for this Clippers team. I doubt any team that started 6-21 has ever made the playoffs before, but if we continue to see Kawhi Leonard destroy the box score like this every night, they could be the ones to do it.